April 23rd, 2024. I'm not sure if you can hear it, but there might be a buzzing in the background of the video, and it's the laptop, my laptop's fan. I'm getting a new one tonight, but so if there's a buzzing, you're just going to hear it throughout the video, and it will not be there tomorrow. It should be all fixed, but yeah, sorry if that's there. Pretty interesting day today. Yesterday's rally, my thoughts coming into the day were this rally was really strong, so we might get some sort of second leg up. But this was a pretty strong sell-off as well. So I thought the upside today would be relatively limited. And I thought we would probably stall somewhere up in here and try to get, a second leg down and just end up relatively sideways today. I was expecting a pretty sideways day. I was definitely not expecting a bull trend day. And, it was more of just a spike in channel. It wasn't really a great day for trading, I don't think, for stop orders at least. It was, just a lot of it was very difficult. Bar one, a bear bar with a big tail on the bottom. Not as good as it could be. For the bears. It's a big gap up and a possible bull trap. They want it to be the high of the day, but they need follow through. Bar two, a big bull bar with the tail on the top. Triggers the high one buy above bar one. So you have the gap up and the bull bar, bar one. Probably more sellers above bar one than there are buyers during two. So three, a bull bar but a big tail. Essentially just testing yesterday's sell climax. I'd imagine there would be sellers, somewhere below here because there were probably bulls who bought below here and scaled in lower. So I imagine we would find sellers. Except instead of that, we ended up getting a huge bull bar on four. So we have tails 2, 3, 4, really climactic bar on four. And something really important here is if you sold above bar two, right? So you sold above here, you can see it never got past your limit order again. So it would have had to get back to the high of two in order to fill your limit order. So you sold above here, you scaled in higher, and you tried to get out here. And you can see that we never actually got back to the two high, which means you have traders who sold above two who are now trapped in the trade when they see four. So that was a really subtle but important detail. Five, an inside bar. It's a high one. It's a reasonable swing buy, but I think tough to buy this far above the moving average at this point in the day. Six, a bear bar, big tail on the top, tail on the bottom. Not as good as it could be, I think, for anyone. For bulls, or for bears, it's a potential high of the day, potential bull trap, but I would rather just, wait. I don't really want to do anything here. Bad follow through on seven. We're still probably always in long. We've probably been always in long. And then 8, big tail, 9, big tail, double top, 10, bull bar, but a big tail on the top. So again, not as good as it could be. This video is going to be pretty short. This fan, I don't know if you guys can hear it, but it's extremely loud and it's really distracting. I can't really think as well clearly as I would like to. So I'm probably going to rush through this video a little bit. Sorry about that. 12, a bull bar, but I think that at this point, what are you hoping to accomplish if you're buying? It's a really climactic move, so I don't really think we're going all that much higher. And 13, another good bull bar, but again, we're really, really high here in this trading range, so I would not be a big fan of buying this high. 14, an inside bar, 15, an inside bar, so an II after a buy climax. When you get an II after a sell climax, we got one like the other week. So here, yeah. So you have a sell climax on the open and then an inside pattern and a rally. And here I thought the market was pretty overbought. So I thought we might end up getting a sell-off. So an II after a buy climax, although the channel was pretty tight and it was like a 7-bar micro channel. It's theoretically, I think, okay to sell below 15, but you probably have to sell more above the high of the day. 17, it's always in long. It's a bull bar closing near its high. It's probably okay to buy, but it's probably a scalp. This is really climactic. We're probably not going much higher. 18, the follow through, again, big tail on the top and disappointing, I think, for the bears. But that the traders who sold above this high are probably going to be able to scale in. Notable that there was also an open gap. The traders who sold above 11 remained trapped the whole day. So you had this open gap and then basically this high and the 8 low or the 7 low. You could argue just a body gap essentially there. 19, a bear bar closing near its low. It's a really big bar, but you could argue failed breakout essentially of the 18-bar range. We tried to test the top of the 18-bar range and we're not able to. So probably a minor reversal since we haven't had a close below the moving average yet today, but potentially okay to sell below 19. It's a big bear surprise, and the neckline of the double top with 14 and 19 is the 16 low. So you can see we closed below that low. Follow through on 20 for the bears, but not as good as it could be. Bears probably more looking to sell a pullback, and then we get a bull surprise 21. It's always in long probably, but I'm not sure I want to buy above 21. It's pretty disappointing. We're forming an expanding triangle here, so I don't know. I would probably rather just be flat at this point. Follow through 22, 23, but probably going to get a lower high from 19, and the 18 close is going to be a magnet. 24 lower high major trend reversal, and then we got a wedge pullback to the moving average 31. You can buy above 31. I think it's an outside 29.30. So you could argue in some way. So it's an okay buy above 31, but it's a tight trading range, 28 to 31. So, and you're buying in the middle of this overall trading range. It's really not as good as it could be. And it's kind of a big bar too. So while it's okay to take the buy, there's limited upside. Kind of what you got is like one of your best case scenarios. So it's kind of tough to take that buy. Follow through 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38. Buy the close 32, 33, 35. And then pretty much the rest of the day, well, I suppose not the rest of the day. So then we ended up getting above to a new high of the day. But what have traders been doing? Ever since we saw pretty much 19, bears have been confident selling above new highs and scaling in. So you can see they're going to sell above this high and they're going to scale in and they're going to make money. 2 legs down. And, we've been sideways here, but we have been sideways up. You can see we're forming higher lows and we're forming higher highs. So good for the bulls, good for the bulls. But, we had this yesterday, which was really strong, and then disappointment, which was, still decently strong. So I thought that this was going to be limited. So I didn't think the odds of an upside breakout were all that great. But when you see 48, it is always in long. And a bull bar closing near its high, so it's probably okay to buy above 48. Definitely okay to buy above 50. And you get follow through, but you can see the market's trying to form buy the close rally, but it's really just not all that good since there's tails on the tops and bottoms of all these bars. So what the bulls wanted was, even if we started to go sideways here, they wanted to get basically a pop to the upside. This was forming right on a lower time frame, some sort of triangle. You can see that. And so what they were hoping, and think about the concept of a triangle. It's just doing this, right? It's doing it in an upwards way, but it's contracting like a band, like a rubber band essentially. So, and then when it gets to the apex, it has to bounce or start to sell off. And traders are buying since it's been a bull trend day and they're betting on the bounce. But we really didn't get any sort of explosive breakout, and traders were disappointed and probably exited below 55. And then we went sideways and basically a tight trading range from 54 to 63 or 64. And, we'll probably test back into the tight trading range since tight trading ranges are magnets. We're going to need a really strong breakout to the upside or downside for traders to want to take anything. And you can see we just ended up in a tight trading range the remainder of the day. So there are buyers below things, sellers above things, and we tested back into the middle of the tight trading range. So really a tough day, I think. Probably okay to buy above 5, but I think it's hard to do. I thought II after buy climax, I don't know, 15 maybe. 17 probably, but really tough. Maybe 19, but again, tough. You have open gaps, so 31 probably fine. 32, 33 by the close, and 48, 50 as well. But I thought, today was just a tough overall day for stop order traders. It was one of those days you're not, probably not going to do, get rich today, basically off stop orders. So this is one of those bull trend days where it was just difficult to get in on, which happens sometimes. So where do we go tomorrow? Well, I mentioned at the end of last week in my last video that I thought we were due for a bounce, and we got it. And it's pretty overextended at this point. So I'm expecting tomorrow to be sideways to down. This is a pretty good bounce. It's possible we test the moving average and we vacuum right up to it. But I think if we test the moving average, we're going to find sellers pretty much immediately. This low is also important because bulls bought below this low, and they should have been able to scale in and make money. So it's possible we have to vacuum all the way up here. But I think that the higher up we vacuum, if we get to 51.50 tomorrow, there's probably going to be a lot of sellers. And I think the faster we go up here, the more violent the downturn is going to be for at least a day or two. So I wouldn't be surprised if we went up to 51.50 tomorrow and got a big reversal down, basically some sort of midday reversal. But it all depends on the gap. I'm expecting, tomorrow will not be a bull trend day. Let's put it that way. It seems unlikely that we're going to get 3 in a row. And yeah, that's going to be the day.